a visual aid such as a prop or a presentation, you know sometimes these can do more harm than good to your speech. The challenge is to know what prop or presentation to use, when and where to get an effectively get your message across to the audience. Our next speaker has struggled with using visual aids appropriately in presentations and has come to a new understanding about their use. Today you will learn a simple tip for using the right visual aid every time in every presentation. You will walk out the door with a tool for better, more effective communication and interconnection with your audience. And now, please join me in welcoming our next speaker, Tim Wilson in Visual Disc Aid.
You ever seen Carrot Top? Anyone know Carrot Top? You ever heard of them? Comedian Jason knows him, Emily, Alicia, some other people. So you may know him, you may not know him. If you don't know him, what he does is he gets up on stage and he has this big bag of stuff, like a trunk. And he goes to this trunk and he takes things out. And each time he gets a little prop, he's got a little point. So he's got a prop and pulls it out and he says something. Prop, he pulls it out and he says something. And this was really interesting to me because at the time I was doing the Toastmaster speech, which was involved back then. It involved props. How to use props and where to use props. I thought this was a great idea. This is really cool what Carrot Top did. He used all these props. I could get all these props out. All this stuff was coming out. All these great points he had. I thought, if I just do that, it would really help get the point across, really help communicate to the audience. So I was going to go put together a speech, and I got my bag of stuff. And I got them. And I started to do a speech. And I'll do just a little bit of it here now. Recreate it for you, as it were. It went something like this. If you're ever going to sew up your point, you want to tie things down. You can take this sometimes, and I want to be perfectly clear here what I'm talking about. Because if you're going to record something, make sure that you clip it. Make sure you clip it out just a little bit and measure your point, of course, because if you don't measure your point, when it doesn't get measured, it gets lost, as you all know. And, I don't want to waste your time. And let's recharge now. And it went on like that for quite a while. Afterwards, I talked to a friend of mine, Mike, brown-haired guy. Really great guy. He's been around the club since the beginning. I really trust his opinion. I said, Mike, what do you think of the speech? Mike said, Tim, you kind of look like Carrot Top out there, you know? Yeah, Mike, exactly. I look like Carrot Top. Yeah. What do you think? He said, well, here's the thing. It looked like you were propping up your speech. It looked like you were propping up your speech out there. You had all these different props, and you really didn't have any speech. You didn't have any substance. And then he said something I'll always remember. He said, Tim, don't prop up your speech. Prop up your point. Always prop up your point. And I thought about that. Not only in this thing, but I thought of all the different speeches I'd seen, even PowerPoint presentations are visual. You ever seen those things? And they got stuff that slides into the left, and they got stuff that slides into the right, and they've got like 32 slides with 56 bullets on it, and all this stuff you're looking through, and it's all a bunch of stuff, but there's nothing there. Have you ever given a presentation like that? Seen a presentation like that? So I started studying more about visual aids, how to use them effectively. I started studying the masters, seeing what they do, and I started, Mike had a good point, and other people said the same thing too. They said, you want to prop up your point. You want to make sure you always prop up your point, so you don't get in this whole thing where you're trying to prop your whole speech with a grab bag of stuff. Prop up the point. So if you're going to sell something, and you want to get out there, say you've got a really great Toastmasters pen, and that's your point. Your point is, pen, you can use it for different points, the whole point. So let's say you got a point about a pen. This pen retails for $9.95, yours today for $5.95, Toastmasters pen guaranteed to write every time, and I'm throwing in the ink for free. And seriously, if you want to buy it for $5.95, I will sell it to you for $5.95. Or Could be another point. Whatever you're going through and making a speech, make sure you write things down. Because when you write things down, it sticks in your head in a way it doesn't if you're typing it out on the computer. Alicia said. You're just making a point. The pen is mightier than the sword. Whatever it is, the speech should prop up your point. The speech should be central to your point. The speech should make your point. Don't prop up your speech. Prop up your point. It's easy to get carried away with props because it's fun. And as you start going through and you add more and more props up there, they can kind of take over. And if they take over, then your speech becomes kind of a grab bag of stuff. This can happen whether you're given a speech which involves actual props or just involves visual aids. Just remember, you're going to prop up your point. What's your central point? You're going to draw people's attention to that and focus on it. So that's what they're thinking about. That's what they lead. So for your next speech, before you give it, just ask yourself, am I just using all this stuff to prop up my speech? Or is there something really central here I want to get across? Always.